Welcome to Fake Love and Flying Monkeys, the podcast where fake love is exposed. I'm Nova Gibson and I am your host. I'm the principal counsellor at Brighter Outlook Narcissistic Abuse Counselling.com.au. This space is dedicated to helping you reclaim your worth and understand the impact of toxic relationships with suspected narcissists. You deserve clarity, healing, and freedom from the pain of fake love and flying monkeys. So please leave a review and grab a copy of my book, Fake Love, Understanding and Healing from Narcissistic Abuse. Let's uncover the truth and take back your power. Hey, lovely people, and welcome back to another episode of Fake Love and Flying Monkeys. Those relentless emotional triggers that just will not go away after narcissistic abuse. You might be thinking things like, why am I still reacting like this? Why does the tone of a text or a smell or someone raising their voice slightly throw me straight back into panic mode? Or maybe you've asked yourself that big question, is this PTSD? Well, you're not imagining things. These emotional landmines, they're real and they are so common after being in a toxic relationship, especially with a narcissist. So in this episode, we're going to unpack 7 emotional triggers that survivors often experience and whether what you're going through could be something called C-PTSD or complex post-traumatic stress disorder. So take a deep breath, grab a cuppa, and let's get into it. So let's start with the big one, being ignored. For so many survivors, this is the number one trigger. Why? Because narcissists use silence as a weapon. They will give you the silent treatment. And it wasn't just someone needing space. It was about punishment, emotional starvation, and abandonment all rolled into one. So now, even when someone is just genuinely quiet or distracted, you might find yourself spiraling. Your brain screams, what did I do wrong? Are they mad at me? Am I about to be punished again? If that's you, you're not crazy. Your nervous system was trained to panic when connection was withdrawn. That's trauma. That is not weakness. Or what about when you're being accused or blamed for something, or that's what you feel like? That is a trigger. This one really cuts deep. If someone even suggests that you might have done something wrong, it can send you straight into shame, into being defensive or people-pleasing mode. Why? Well, because narcissists constantly blamed you for everything. You were always under attack. Their bad mood, your fault. Their lies, you pushed them to do it. Them cheating, perhaps, well, you weren't meeting their needs. So over time, you internalize that blame. So even innocent feedback or conflict feels like an attack. Your brain is saying to you, danger, danger, get small, apologize, fix it, fast. That's your trauma talking, not the truth. Another common trigger for narcissistic abuse victims is when they hear loud voices or sudden anger. This is a big one too. They're all big, but raised voices, maybe it's an argument just on TV or someone slamming a door. It can send an absolute shockwave through your body. You might freeze, disassociate, feel nauseous even, or immediately try to calm things down, even when it has nothing to do with you. Again, that's not you being oversensitive. That is your nervous system doing its job, because when that was happening in your abusive relationship, you had to prepare for the attack and you had to survive that attack that you knew was coming. Your brain remembers that back in the narcissistic relationship, anger was not safe. It wasn't just an emotion that someone may have been entitled to. It often led to emotional attacks that were out of nowhere, that were completely unwarranted, or just pure narcissistic rage, gaslighting, or even physical harm. Your body now treats any kind of anger, any hint of anger, like a red alert, and that's trauma. Another trigger that I hear regularly from my beautiful clients in my counseling practice. By the way, guys, if you would like to have a one-on-one Zoom counseling session with me, please just see my website link in the description. But many of my clients talk about feeling trapped or powerless. Have you ever been in a situation where you just felt like you had no control and suddenly your heart is racing, your hands are all sweaty and you're feeling like you need to escape? Maybe it's that you're stuck in traffic. Maybe you're in a job where you just can't speak up. Maybe you're at a family dinner where you're expected to just smile through someone disrespecting you. Those moments can really trigger deep fear and panic, because narcissistic abuse is all about powerlessness. All the power and control must be with the narcissist. You were constantly controlled, manipulated, and made to feel like you had no voice. So even minor situations where you feel stuck can feel absolutely terrifying now. It's not that you're weak, it's that you were conditioned to associate being trapped with danger. Another common trigger relates to love bombing or flattery. Now, this one's kind of tricky. You'd think compliments would feel nice, right? But after narcissistic abuse, even kindness can feel like a trap. Why? Because narcissists use love bombing, excessive compliments, gifts, affection to suck you in. And it works. It feels good. So now you don't trust that someone being nice to you actually means what they're saying or what they're doing. You fall for the charm, the soulmate talk, only to be devalued and discarded later when you're with the narcissist. So you become almost paranoid about someone saying something nice to you because you just don't trust that they mean what they say. Now, when someone's too nice or says all the right things, your brain might go, nope, I've seen this before. I am not falling for that again. And that hesitation, that suspicion is totally normal. It is your brain trying to protect you from getting played again, from getting duped again, from someone who is trying to catch you unaware. This next trigger goes straight to the core, and it is the result of being gaslit for so long or doubted. After being constantly told that you were too sensitive or crazy or imagining things, even small moments of being questioned or doubted can feel dangerous to you. Someone might ask you, are you sure? And your body's like, oh, here we go again. Because gaslighting isn't just lying. It's a slow erasure of your reality. It's a distortion of your reality. And now when someone makes you second guess yourself. It feels like you're slipping down that slope again. You might over explain yourself or just simply spiral into self-doubt or just feel like you have to prove everything. And that's not overreacting. That is emotional trauma in action. Another emotional trigger that many victims face occurs when they see the narcissist seemingly happy or moved on, and this one can hit like a truck. Maybe you spot them on social media. They're smiling. They're in a new relationship. They're thriving, or so it seems, and suddenly it's like all the pain rushes back in, even when you know on a logical level it's all a facade. You've done your research, you know the cycle. Even if you know they're probably just love bombing the next victim, it still hurts because your brain hasn't caught up to the truth yet. It's still waiting for the justice, the apology, the validation that normally never comes. And that emotional whiplash, that's a trauma response too. Now, these are just some of the triggers that I regularly hear about, and I know you will have so many others that are individual to your experience and any previous trauma. But let's take a look at a couple of examples. The first one I'm going to call the silent treatment trigger. So maybe you're at work and a coworker stops replying to your messages. Nothing dramatic. Maybe they're just busy, but your body goes into full panic mode. You feel sick. You start overthinking. What did you say? You convince yourself that you've done something wrong, and it's wild. It doesn't make sense because logically, you know it's not about you, but emotionally, it felt just like those days where the narcissist would go completely cold to punish you. Your nervous system could not tell the difference. Example number 2, a trigger that relates to something you're wearing, a dress perhaps. Maybe you're getting ready to go out and you feel really good in the dress that you've chosen until a friend just casually asks you, "Oh, why did you decide to wear that dress?" It was an innocent question, not meant to hurt, but your stomach drops. You feel this shame hit you, and then suddenly you feel totally exposed. You feel like they're criticizing you, and you wish the ground would swallow you up. Now, your brain knows they weren't insulting you, but your body reacts like this. Why? Because in the past, the narcissist constantly made snide remarks about what you wore. Backhanded comments like, "Oh, that's brave," or "You're really wearing that?" Those memories rush back in a split second, and you find yourself questioning your worth over a simple question. That's the thing about trauma, guys. It doesn't care about logic. Now, these are just some of the many, many triggers that victims experience that relate to their individual experience. And it may be that if you are having these regular triggers and they're having such a negative impact on your life, it may be that you do have complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And that is why it is so important to get lots and lots of support from a trauma-informed therapist, such as myself, who understands the dynamics of this type of abuse. In tomorrow's episode, which is going to be part 2 of this series, I'm going to be talking specifically about CPTSD. But until then, I want you to hear this loud and clear. Your triggers are not weakness. They are proof that your body did everything it could to survive. And now in your healing, your job isn't to shame those triggers. Your job is to gently unpack them, understand them, and support yourself through them. Every time you notice a trigger, you're reclaiming awareness, and that's power. That's progress. So if you've been wondering, why am I still like this? Why can't I just move on? Please know, guys, this is the nervous system healing process, and healing, it's not linear, but it is possible, and you don't have to do it alone. And that brings us to the end of another Fake Love and Flying Monkeys episode. Don't forget to look out for tomorrow's episode, guys, which is part 2, where I talk specifically about complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, if you're wondering what you can do to support the channel, the best thing you can do, guys, is to share, and to leave a rating and a review. You have no idea how much it helps with that horrible old algorithm, and just to put it out there in the world so other people can benefit from the information you hear. Now, if you'd like to have a one-on-one Zoom, as always, please just see the website link in my description, where you'll also find a link to order your copy of my best-selling book, Fake Love. On that note, guys, it's bye from me for now. Until tomorrow's episode, remember, you are worthy of love, and you are worthy of so much more than a lifetime of fake love and flying monkeys.